Many claim that psychics can help police find serial killers, but is it true? The intersection between the esoteric world of psychics and the pragmatic realm of law enforcement might seem unlikely. Yet, there have been numerous instances where purported psychics have claimed to assist in the investigation of serious crimes, including the hunting of serial killers. The use of psychics in law enforcement investigations remains a controversial topic, with some attributing significant breakthroughs to their insights, while others dismiss it as mere coincidences or clever trickery. This video will explore the role of psychics in helping law enforcement investigate serial killers, the evidence of their effectiveness, skepticism towards these practices, and the alternative approach of psychological profiling. Since the late 20th century, there have been reports of psychics offering their services to law enforcement agencies. Psychics are individuals who profess to have extrasensory perception, ESP, allowing them to access information beyond the reach of the conventional senses. Methods used by psychics can vary greatly, including clairvoyance, seeing visions, clairaudience, hearing voices or sounds, precognition, foreseeing events, and psychometry, gaining insights from objects. Police have been known to utilize psychics in hopes they can provide clues or details about crimes that may otherwise remain mysteries. Serial killers pose a unique challenge to law enforcement agencies. They are individuals who commit a series of murders over a period of time, often with no apparent motive and a random selection of victims. The unpredictable and clandestine nature of their crimes can make them incredibly difficult to apprehend. It is in these challenging cases that some detectives have turned to psychics for assistance, hoping that their purported psychic abilities can provide the breakthrough needed to solve the case. Serial killers are murderers who kill 3 or more people in a series of separate events over a period of time. Serial killers often have signature ways of operating that are repeated across their crimes. Some of the traits that define serial killers include psychopathy, sadism, and antisocial tendencies. Notorious serial killers like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Jeffrey Dahmer murdered multiple victims in heinous ways. The complex psychological profiles of serial killers make them difficult to apprehend. As a result, law enforcement agencies are sometimes open to unconventional investigation techniques. Some of the most high-profile serial killer cases where psychics have been consulted include the Green River Killer, BTK Killer, Trailside Killer, and Zodiac Killer. In these cases, psychics claim to have visions about the killer's identities, locations, motives, and the whereabouts of victims' bodies. While most law enforcement agencies officially deny relying on psychics, some detectives believe psychics have contributed useful information not available through traditional police work. However, the extent to which their tips are acted upon varies greatly between departments and individual investigators. There are several high-profile cases where psychic visions supposedly helped crack the cases, such as psychic Annette Martin, purportedly intuiting the location of the body of one of the victims of the Trailside Killer in California in 1979. Police corroborated the details Martin provided with facts about the case. However, the accuracy of her prediction was questioned by skeptics who claimed the information provided was too vague. The infamous Green River Killer case in the United States saw the involvement of psychic detective Noreen Renier, who reportedly provided accurate descriptions of the killer and his victims. However, it's important to note that such instances, while fascinating, do not conclusively prove the effectiveness of psychic abilities. The lack of rigorous scientific testing and the inability to reproduce psychic phenomena under controlled conditions make it difficult to ascertain the validity of these claims. There are few scientific studies examining the success rate of psychic detectives, making their purported assistance difficult to evaluate objectively. Much of the evidence in favor of psychic sleuthing remains anecdotal. Skepticism towards the use of psychics in criminal investigations is rife, and not without reason. Critics argue that the testimonials of psychic success often involve confirmation bias, where investigators give more weight to the hits and ignore the misses. Additionally, the practice of cold reading, where individuals use high-probability guesses and pick up on cues from their subjects to appear psychic, is often cited as an explanation for some psychics' seeming accuracy. Skeptics argue that any accurate information provided by psychics about serial killer investigations is a result of broad guesses, intentional deception, or coincidence. Controlled scientific tests designed to evaluate psychics' abilities, such as randomized guessing tasks, have failed to show psychic powers exist. Cognitive biases and improper police procedures may also lead to an overestimation of a psychic's accuracy. Critics claim psychics exploit high-profile cases for publicity, rather than a genuine desire to contribute valid information. The lack of proven psychic abilities causes many in law enforcement to dismiss psychic consultations as pseudoscience. One potential explanation for the apparent success of some psychic predictions is that they may be effectively employing a form of psychological profiling, albeit unconsciously. Criminal profiling involves analyzing crime scene evidence, victimology, and other relevant details to construct a probable description of the offender. Skilled profilers can make startlingly accurate predictions about criminals, and it's conceivable that some psychics may be intuitively doing the same, interpreting the information they are given and making educated guesses based on their understanding of human behavior. Coincidental similarities between these criminal profiles and psychic visions may explain purported psychic successes. The profiling process involves logic, deductive reasoning, and psychological theories, methods arguably more credible than clairvoyance. While some psychics maintain they have assisted law enforcement with serial killer cases, conclusive evidence supporting these claims remains elusive. Skepticism persists because controlled tests of psychic abilities have not yielded definitive proof. Nevertheless, as long as serial killer cases go unsolved, psychics will likely continue offering their assistance to desperate police departments hoping for a break in the case. Whether psychic detections ultimately do more harm than good remains an open question. The controversial nature of psychic sleuthing will ensure continued debate regarding their legitimacy and value. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to Connect Paranormal. This will allow us to make more videos.